Hello and welcome to day 20 of the Advanced Business English Idioms Challenge. I'm going to jump right in, and today we are looking at idioms related to diligence, which means being really careful about working hard and working well. Idioms, as you know, if you've been following along all these days, you know also if you are an advanced or intermediate plus student, of course you know the idioms are an expression that holds a different meaning to their literal meaning, and we need to learn them and we need to use them, focusing on listening to how they're used in our professional environments so that we can use them correctly, and remembering that idioms are used frequently in spoken English in business, but not in written communication. They are very informal. I will give you lots of synonyms as we study our idioms so that you can have more formal options. Today we are looking at these idioms: go the extra mile, go above and beyond, leave no stone unturned, work against the clock, and work around the clock. We're going to look at the idioms in context to give you a feel for them at the beginning and also at the end. Just remember that I'm giving you all the idioms all at once, but that's not how a native speaker would use them. We would use very few, sparingly, just one at a time. I think it's good to see them in context so you can get a feel for them though. As always, whether you are going to watch live or on the replay, I welcome you being here. I would love for you to tell me where you are from and for you to practice with the idioms in the comments. Okay, here is the extract. With the patent application deadline looming. Okay, so a patent is a document that protects your intellectual property if you have created a product or made an invention. So maybe you've invented a new pair of trousers that have, I don't know, a special substance that avoids stains or something, and it's new that a new type of technology and nobody else has it. You might want to create a patent to protect your right to sell that. And so a patent would help you do that. If a deadline is looming, something is looming when it's coming up slowly and aggressively. So a deadline is arriving, and that's kind of stressful. So a deadline looming, there's a good collocation. Anyway, with the patent application deadline looming, the legal team worked against the clock to find the missing piece of evidence crucial to the invention's patent filing. The filing being the process of registering it. So we can tell that against the clock means the same as to have a deadline looming. We must go the extra mile and work hard over the next few days to find that information. Check everything. We must leave no stone unturned, the lead insisted. Agreeing, the patent specialist emphasized, don't worry, we are used to going above and beyond. Time is against us, but we have a large team, so between us we can work around the clock if needed. Okay, so lead attorney, that would be an American phrase. In the UK, we would say the head lawyer or the lead lawyer or the counsel, perhaps. But there you go. Those are all the idioms used all at once. And now let's look at them one by one. So to go the extra mile, I'll give you two examples. John always goes the extra mile to ensure customer satisfaction. If you want to succeed, you need to be willing to go the extra mile. So it means to make additional effort or do more than what is required. If you think the journey is kind of being analogous or comparable to the work effort in that journey, you will go a little bit further. You will do the extra mile. So idioms are very informal. If you're looking for some more formal suggestions, then we could say that we are exceeding expectations or making an effort or a big effort. or giving it one's all. I really gave this my all. I did more than I needed to. I gave it my all. I went the extra mile. And we can use it to say, go the extra mile for somebody or in something or with something. Okay, here's a prompt for you to practice with, whether it's writing your answer in the comment section or speaking out loud. What would be your answer to this? Describe a time when you enjoyed going the extra mile. Was it a time when you knew that you could provide a better service than normal, or you had a client that you really wanted to show appreciation for by doing extra? So I enjoyed going the extra mile when, and think about how you might answer that. Okay, let's move on to go above and beyond. This one's really, really common, so you probably have heard this before, I would imagine. The company's success is due to employees who consistently go above and beyond. She always goes above and beyond in her role, which is why she is so valued. So we can tell from looking at the context of those examples that it really is just exactly the same as the extra mile. To go above and beyond means to do more than what is expected or required. So it's effectively a synonym of to go the extra mile. So again, exceed expectations, surpass expectations, over-deliver. There's a commonly used phrase, to over-deliver. So can you share an example of a company known for encouraging employees to go above and beyond? I think Apple sometimes goes above and beyond in the packaging of their product. Maybe not in the actual services always. I don't know what your experience is. Tell me if you've had a good experience or a bad experience. But I think they go above and beyond. They go the extra mile with their packaging, and that's part of their brand strategy. Okay, leave no stone unturned. This is very informal. Let's look at some examples. Everyone has looked for the missing file. We've left no stone unturned and yet still not found it. We'll leave no stone unturned in our efforts to secure funding for the project. So we look at the picture there, someone's lifting up a stone and finding, I think, Canadian money? Finding money anyway, finding something valuable. So if you leave no stone unturned, it means you make every possible effort to find or achieve something valuable. So again, idioms are informal, some more formal options: exhaust all possibilities, explore every avenue, or do a thorough investigation. So if you were writing, you would perhaps say, we completed a thorough investigation, but unfortunately we're unable to find the file. But in a conversation, you might say to someone, wow, we really left no stone unturned. We tried, we just couldn't find it. Okay, what about you? Describe a time you had to leave no stone unturned. A time I had to leave no stone unturned was, so this wasn't me, but someone in my family lost their passport. Oh my goodness, is there anything more stressful than that when you're about to fly? And as a family, we left no stone unturned. We looked everywhere and we did actually find it, which was amazing. But that would be an example for me. We left no stone unturned in looking for the passport. What about you? Can you describe a time that you left no stone unturned? Okay, next one, work against the clock. With the deadline approaching, or again, we could say looming, with the deadline approaching, we had to work against the clock to finish the project. The team worked against the clock to meet the client's last minute demands. Okay, so we get a sense of like pressure around time. So if you're working against the clock, you are working under time pressure or with a deadline approaching or looming. So we can talk about racing against time. That's quite informal. Working under pressure, or a more formal way of expressing it would be to say that this is time-sensitive work. So again, these are some formal options that you could use in written communication. You're talking about We all recognize that there's a deadline, and so this is time-sensitive work. How do you manage stress when working against the clock? It can be really stressful sometimes to have a big deadline. So what feel for you? Okay, I think this is the last one. Work around the clock. Okay, so we just did work against the clock, but now we have work around the clock. The team worked around the clock to meet the project deadline. During peak season, employees often work around the clock to fulfill orders. So this is different, even though it sounds quite similar. If you work around the clock, it means that you are working continuously without stopping, often for an extended period. Either you personally or there is a continuous effort from rotating teams so that production is continuous. So we can talk about non-stop work, continuous effort, 24/7 work. Obviously, it's not healthy to work around the clock, but it might be that you've got people in different time zones or, like I said, different teams so that production keeps going or the project keeps working because different people are working on it at different times. This is an expression when we use when we've been working outside of our normal hours and it feels like a lot for us. So maybe we normally finish at 5, but we've had to stay late and we're still there at 7. When we get home at like 7:30 or 8, we might say to our family, gosh, I've been working around the clock. It's only actually a couple more hours, but it feels like a lot. Okay, how about you? Have you ever felt an expectation to work around the clock? How did you deal with that? It was the last one. We've gone through all of them. Okay, we are going to go through the extract again and just think about the idioms, and hopefully the meaning of the whole piece here will be a lot clearer. Okay, with the patent application deadline looming, the legal team worked against the clock. So they were under time pressure. They were doing time-sensitive work. So they've got a big deadline coming up and they were aware of it. So they worked against the clock to find the missing piece of evidence crucial to the invention's patent filing. So they've got a big deadline and they're stressed about meeting it because they've got one piece of information they don't have. And then someone says, we must go the extra mile. So we have to do more than the minimum effort. We have to surpass expectations, do more. We must go the extra mile and work hard over the next few days to find that information. Check everything. We must leave no stone unturned. So we've got to look everywhere and make sure that we do more than is expected to find it. So we must leave no stone unturned, the lead attorney insisted. Agreeing, the patent specialist emphasized, don't worry, we are used to going above and beyond. So he's saying, or she's saying, don't worry, this is normal. We know that we need to put in more effort than normal at this time, and we're used to doing more than is expected because it's a big deadline. Time is against us, but we have a large team, so between us, we can work around the clock if needed. So yes, the deadline's coming up. We don't have much time, but we can keep going 24/7 with lots of different people working so that we maintain our effort. Okay, just a reminder that eventually these slides will be added into the free course that goes along with this so that you can read through these on your own and revise should you want to. Let's look at 2 very quick questions as a kind of mini quiz. Have a think about which options would you choose. So, go the extra mile. Does that mean relax into a task, exceed expectations, travel further, or settle? And what about the last one? Leave no stone unturned. Does that mean investigate thoroughly, overlook details, rush through, or skip steps? What do you think? Which option would you choose? Okay, so number 1, go the extra mile means exceed expectations. Leave stone No stone unturned means investigate thoroughly. Okay, that's us. We kind of got through those pretty fast. We were kind of a racing pace there. If you have any questions, do pop them into the comment section. There's a pop. It means to write something down or do something quickly. Pop your questions into the comment section. I will come back and reply to all of them. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.